Happy Saturday, July 5th. And we're here on the third day of our sourdough starter. And as you can tell, it rose all the way up to there overnight. But you want to, that doesn't mean it's ready to use, because when you smell it, it smells horrible. It's disturbing. So what we're going to do, we're going to leave those, remember my two little rubber bands for the people that measure with their third and their half a cups? We're going to discard it down to there. Now I'm just going to throw this out in the trash. I don't want any part of that. And then we're going to refeed it. Okay, we got it poured out. And then we're going to scrape it down to our line. And it should measure 120 grams, because that's initially what we started measuring to with our grams. So you got your 120 grams, that's your 60 grams of flour and 60 grams of water. That's 60 grams of water is 1/3 cup. 60 grams of flour is 1/2 cup. All right, so let's get this pushed down to our rubber band. See right there? Let me get it turned around for you. See right there? We got it down to that first rubber band. And this weighs 230, so we subtract the gross from it, that's 120. So now, I already got the flour and water measured out in my cups, measuring cups right there, to make it a little bit faster on this little video so we don't run out of time. So, put my cannon funnel there. All right, we got 1/3 cup of water, which is 60 grams of filtered bottled water. Got that poured in there. And then zero it out, and then we're gonna add our 60 grams of flour, 1/2 cup unbleached all-purpose flour, 60 grams. Just dump that in there real quick. That way we can be sloppy with it. We ain't got to try to feed it through that funnel. All right. We got our trusty little chopstick. We're going to stir it up. And we're going to do this from now till day 7. And it doesn't matter if it's got a rise or activity. That's actually good. It's starting to learn how to eat and ferment. And that's why it's not ready. It's gross at this point. And you'll see some clear fluid that'll collect on the top sometimes. That's the liquor. Now some people pour that off. I don't. I stir that back in. That's generating that ethanol, and that's helping it ferment. So we've got it stirred up really good. Remember that pancake batter thickness? Get all the inside cleaned down in there. Get all that excess flour mixed up. Now, I used unbleached all-purpose flour. You can use bread flour. It's got like 1 more gram of protein to it. You're just gonna have, I just stay with the lesser amounts. That way when you build it up. Now, I will say this. When you start mixing the flours while you're trying to ferment and try to build your starter, you're going to slow the process down, because it's going to have to get used to that new flour, that new protein content. So you want to stay with one flour throughout your process. Now once you get your starter made, there's a lot of folks that they say bake your bread with the same flour that you built your starter in. I don't. I've already got a good strong starter. Shay, I got her going. It doesn't matter what I put in there. She's gonna make my bread rise. So, but if you build your starter with the higher protein and you put a flour in there, or all-purpose flour in there with less protein, just get ready. You're not gonna have a rise like you want. But if you build it with if you build your starter real strong with a lower protein content, and then you bake your flour with a higher protein, content, you're going to have a better rise. And the way that you work your starter, your dough, your sourdough, when you first mix it together. If you do extra stretch and folds, you're going to get more rise. Miss Emily, she'll mix her, she'll do her flour and water. It's called auto-lease, and she'll let that sit for an hour before she ever adds her starter and her salt. And then she does 10 minutes after she gets it all mixed together and lets it rest for a little bit. She'll mix it for straight 10 minutes sometimes on her bread. Stretch and folds. Just 10 minutes of stretch and folds. And it'll feel like it's coming apart, and then it'll build back up strength. And it'll feel like it's coming apart, and you've broken it down, and then it'll build back strength again. And I've tried that process myself, and I do get a higher rise with my bread when I build it. Now that I've successfully made a mess on the counter. All right. Now, we're not quite back up to that line right there, that rubber band, so I'm just going to lower it. But we've got all of our measures in there, and then I've got it scraped down. I didn't get it cleaned down well enough, but we've discarded and we've fed. So she's good for another 24 hours. Now eventually, when she starts to rise, and probably within 4, 5, 6 hours, she rises real fast, and then she falls. She rises real fast, and then she falls. Then we'll start doing a 12-hour feed. But that won't be for a few more days. So we've got her right there where my measurements are, my 230 grams for my jar. We've got the rubber band right there at the top of the starter. And then that way we can mark it, and we'll talk about it tomorrow night. So for another 24 hours, we're going to let her sit and do what she do. Y'all have a good evening. We'll see you tomorrow night. Oh, by the way, place your lid on top. Do not screw it down. Do not tighten it down. Just place it on top.